Hi guys, I hope everyone's had a good day. So today's topic is 2000s fashion trends that should stay there. Keep them there, keep them in the 2000s, we don't need them here. I'm sure we can all recall 2 or 3, but I have put together my worst top 15 and I'm going to run you through them now. Prepare yourself. Thirsty. Number 1. Heavily embroidered jeans. Why? Why? We didn't need them. Who asked for them? I don't know, but I'd like to know. If it wasn't giant flowers or lightning bolts or huge brand logos, if you could embroider it, it was on a pair of jeans. And we could buy them. And we did, so it seems. In my research, I seem to find that Hilary Duff was a huge fan of the embroidered jean. Most press shots, she's wearing some form of embroidered denim, or corduroy, or like a horrid flocked embroidery. No. Number 2, rolling swiftly off the back of embroidered jeans, we now have overly embellished denim. If it's not denim jackets, tie-dye denim jackets, rhinestoned wide leg denim jeans, or tassels, sequin tassels, there was everything. If you had a pair of jeans, they couldn't just be jeans, they needed to be embellished.
Quickly, someone pass me the sequins.
Number 3, tops that aren't really tops. Yes, you heard right. It could have been a scarf, a bandana, a little bit of fabric, maybe with a little strap to hold it in place, but they were not tops. This was a trend that consumed the 2000s. I think one of the most iconic moments with a scarf top was the VMAs. Christina Aguilera, just a little knitted scarf, halter tied round her breasts. That was the top, not a flesh. Number 4, belly chains. Yes, chains for your belly. I personally could not think of a worse place to put a chain. I don't want to highlight down there. I mean, let's be honest, it can't have been very comfortable when you sat down. It's stuck in your creases. You could even get chains on with your name. Or princess. Or babe. Now, I must admit, part of me thinks that's kind of fun, but it is still a very strange trend. Oh, and you could even connect them to your belly piercing. Fun! Number 5, pedal pushers. Yes, pedal pushers. Who remembers them? Everyone, because they were everywhere. I mean, they were designed after cycling shorts. That's why pedal pushers, you're pushing pedals. I can't get why that would be an inspiration for fashion. But anyway, they were, and they were popular in the 2000s. Who wasn't wearing pedal pushers? If you weren't wearing pedal pushers, you weren't in trend, honey. I think what bothered me about them was the length. They were kind of below knee, but not quite calf length, that weird middle ground, often with a wide leg or a huge turn up, or maybe some rips just to really sell the design. Add that to the fact everything was low-rise, it just made you look enormously long. Oh, and by the way, we'll come back to low-rise. Don't think I've forgotten about that. Number 6. I've forgotten what it was. Belt skirts. Belt skirts, you know, skirts that were the width of a belt. Yes, and obviously, again, low-rise. You wore it as low as possible, and it was as short as possible. Hence the name, belt skirt. Amazing. Bizarre. Don't get it. Often worn with a belt, just to emphasise how short this skirt was, to show you just, it's the width of a belt. So, you've got your belt skirt, you've got your belly chain, you've got your scarf top. You're there, chuck a Baker Boy cap on and you're living the 2000s dream. Number 7, pointless, oversized belts. Yep, who remembers them? Because yet again, they were everywhere. Chuck a belt on it. Go on, put a belt on it. Humongous belts with massive buckles worn in one of 2 places, either as high as possible, under your chest, or 2, as low as possible, so it's basically just hanging onto your hip bone, and if you moved in the wrong way, it's just going to flop off. Number 8. Cargo pants and octopus trousers. Yeah, I know you remember them. Really baggy, oversized cargo trousers with massive pockets. And octopus trousers, or as we call them in the UK, jungle trousers, with hundreds of tassels hanging off that would get caught in doors or snag on things. Number 9. Stringy scarves and pointless ties. Off to a premiere? Don't know what to wear? Chuck a stringy scarf on it, babes. Perfect. They were everywhere. Nicole Kidman loved a stringy scarf. You'll catch her with a Baker Boy skinny scarf, little crop cardigan. She's well away. And wearing ties with t-shirts, or maybe a tie, t-shirt and waistcoat. Avril Lavigne, her go-to look, or many boy bands, you know, those kind of rock goth boy bands around the 2000s, they were just sling ties and everything. You know, what was that one? What are they called? Green Day. Ties with everything. Anything and everything. Number 10, one of the most horrific for me. Dresses over jeans. And the jeans were horrible. I mean, flares, or boot cut, or some weird kind of kick out at the end, worn with kind of peekaboo heels, that pointy toe that's slightly turned up. You're off to your red carpet event. You've got your witchy poo shoes with a turned up toe, your flared jeans that are slightly ripped at the edges. Over that you put your cottony tunic spaghetti strap dress, then you add your chunky oversized pointless belt, then maybe a stringy scarf, and then maybe a hat. Baker Boy most likely. Boom. Spaghetti straps. Number 11. I've run out of fingers, so I'm just gonna have to say it now. Lace up clothing. Do you remember? You had lace-up crotches, lace-up tops, lace-up pockets, lace-up seams down your jeans. If they could tuck a rope through it, they would. This whole lace-up clothing thing was quite a statement, and not a good one. Number 12. Gypsy skirts, or otherwise known as peasant skirts. They came in 2 lengths. Ankle length or floor length, but either way they were ruched and they were made of like a cotton or linen, so often looked creased, and you'd wear them with your big chunky pointless belt, and then paired often with a vest top that kind of looked like a thermal with the dreaded spaghetti straps. Spaghetti straps. And always in such lurid colours. Why? Number 13, unlucky for some, matrix coats. Floor length or sometimes knee length box cut leather coats. Yes. Inspired by the film The Matrix, obviously, and they worked in the film, but did they work in real life? And most of the time they either had massive lapels or no lapels at all, so it was more of a grandad collar style that you could button or zip right up to your neck. I actually think they just look rather creepy. And let's face it, even Keanu Reeves looked quite creepy in them. Number 14, ruffled miniskirts. And they were super mini. Not too dissimilar to the belt skirt, but these were made of kind of more swooshy fabrics, and often with a slight ruffly hem or a raw edge, sometimes also worn over jeans, paired with a t-shirt and a tank top worn over the top. You know, like a little vest top, strappy vest top? Yes. Paris Hilton seemed to be a huge fan of the ruffled miniskirt. You'd see her at premieres and club openings and events in these tiny, tiny skirts. They were worn super low to really make a feature out of your hip bones. The more hip bone you saw, the sexier you were, or so it was believed. Number 15, last but definitely not least. Low-rise jeans. Yes, I mentioned them earlier very briefly, but now is their starring moment. They are one of the most iconic pieces of fashion from the 2000s era. When I say iconic, I don't mean it in a good way. This is iconic. And when we say low rise, these were super low rise, like the tiniest crotch area you've ever seen, with almost no waistband. Then, because there was barely any crotch to these jeans, the pockets were made redundant because you could fit nothing in them, or they were just there as a detail, they weren't actually pockets. And then on the back of the jean, there were no pockets. And then the very worst part of it was that this trend arose where you wore your thong creeping out of the top at the front and the back. Because yes, everyone wants their thong on display. So if there is one item out of this whole list that I can lock in a vault forevermore to never appear in fashion again, it would be the low rise / no back pocket jean. Keep them back in the 2000s. Let's not ever see them again. Let's try and forget about them. Let's try and erase them from our minds because they were hideous. I'd love to know if you think there's any other fashion trends or items from the noughties that I've missed off this list that you think are really worth a mention. So please comment below or drop me a DM and I would love to hear from you. Thank you all for watching and I shall catch you on the next one. Bye bye.